See, my name's Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. It is time to get back to business and get things done. So now I can go back to working on a few of the screen paint products I need to have done before I'm ready to depart from here. A couple more of the exotics, which we need to have those done. I want to have those up and ready to go. So that when I start to get a chance to advertise them where I want to, I can have them on display. So I need to get those done, get them testing, because we have a lot of testing that has to be done. As I said before, I want to design a Black Gamer Edition paint, but I want something different. I want something with a different name to it. I had a couple of them that I popped up on YouTube, but it wasn't what I wanted. So this one I like. This is the one that I got in my dream just a few hours ago, about an hour ago. I got this in my dream. So usually, as I said before, that all our technology comes from God, and all our technology is tested, batch number guarantee, make sure our customers get exactly what they need. The name of that new product, and any product we develop, has to go through a series of testing. That technology goes through testing. And as I explained before, why testing is extremely important, because this backs your product against anything or anyone who tries to come at your product. At the end of the day, you have test results backing your product, which is very important. People who do not back their products, people who rush their products out the door, don't do any form of proper testing, are going to run into all sorts of problems, because they can't test their products on different paints and all kinds of things, because again, they have not done proper testing. Every demonstration we do, products all have to be tested. I have to know myself if it's going to run. I'm using it myself constantly, so I have to know if this stuff is going to work. We got ultra short throws in here in the setup. We got long throws. We got everything in here. And this stuff has to be able to function in the environment. Most people cheat when they make these ultra short throw screen paints. And what they'll do is they'll go in and they'll keep the screen to a certain size on an ultra short throw, which they'll use the screen, the projectors, what do you call it? I'd just say specification requirement. There we go, specification requirements, which a lot of the projectors that you'll see will say, well, you can only do 100 inches, you can only do 120 inches, stuff like that. But that's not true. You can actually do 150. Sorry, sorry about that. 150 inch off your projector if you choose. But the problem is that the screen is not going to allow you to do it. So if you're using a screen that is not properly tested to do so, you're not going to be able to do it. 150 inch screen of some great screen paint products out there are going to deteriorate right from the door on 150 inches with that much light nail on the screen. They can't show contrast, they can barely show color, and the white levels are going to be okay, but still, again, this is going to be a very washed out faded screen. Excuse me. So as I said before, that because we can take a $60 projector that was only designed to do 100 inches and magnify it at 150 and pull it off beautifully in a fully lit environment, is because the product was tested to go on bigger screens. So pull the ultra short throw back and see what kind of screen we can get out of it. Pull it back this far, what's going to happen? Pull it back that far, what's going to happen? And usually what I see with a lot of people who make these products, what they'll do is they'll stay to the specifications of the projector. It's okay, projector says 120, projector says 100, we'll keep it at this size only. You've just capped yourself off, literally. Where I can take the same projector and pull it back 150 and still nail the screen. As a matter of fact, I can pull 140 outside, which we got to post that demonstration too. I need to post that one because I talk about that one a lot, and I need to have that on the website to show the results of our technology. Oh my goodness, I thought about that too. See, this is stuff, we have so much stuff we do on our technology and testing, we don't even post half the stuff that's designed to do. And one of the things I just thought about it, literally in my mind, that our screens have the ability to magnetize your ultra short throw to much bigger sizes, way outside the factory recommendations of the product. Proof right there in the room. It's sitting right there in the room the entire time. Every time we fire up that projector, we're at 150 inches on a projector designed to do 100 inches, and it's crystal clean. So now I got this, just we don't have room on the website. I'm literally going to have to build me a second website just basically to expand our technology. I think I just might call it the Black Series, because that's pretty much where we're hitting at with this new stuff now. Now, yeah, just thought about that. There's stuff we don't even show off. There's so much stuff we literally don't show off because we don't have the room on the website to just show it off. We're actually outgrowing our website, literally. I don't have any more room on there. I got literally so many pages on my site. It's unbelievable. I'll show you, there's tons of pages on information. We just don't have enough room. We need to expand. We're basically bringing a professional web design. Oh, that's what I forgot about. That's what we're doing for the new setup. We are going to bring in a professional web designer. We need to expand our site like big time because we don't have enough room. Okay, so that's something else we definitely need to have on the website. So, because we get asked that a lot with ultra short throw setups, can I expand my screen size? And yes, you can. And we need to show you a difference because I can't come on camera and say, well, you know, this is, you're going to get it from this size, but I have to tell you why you can get it from that size. So we have to do 150 inch or outside, I guess 150 inches is the biggest screen, so people doing ultra short throws. So we're going to do 150 inch gray screen, 150 inch white screen, and 150 inch black screen. So that way you can get an understanding why you do not put 150 inch of anything on a white screen or black screen. You're just not going to be able to maintain it. And for those people that are going out and buying those particular projectors that cost $4,100, they're a lot of money for these projectors, these knockoff, I call them knockoffs, sorry, that's what I call them, knockoff projectors. They'll pull it back 150 and then realize the screen is ripping up and deteriorating because, again, this is a projector that requires compressing. My goodness, I'm way off topic. See what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, when you listen to me talk and you listen to other people talk, literally, I can go off topic and talk about some completely crazy stuff. I can tell you this on this. They don't have any knowledge. Or they don't know anything. But yeah, we'll get to that later because I'm going way off topic of what we have here in the title. But there's just so much in that info. Well, I'll get back to this. We got things to do. But anyway, long story short, you can get a 150 inch screen out of any projector as long as it's name brand on our technology, and we'll show you that. We'll have to put a section on the website because we're doing this all day long, and we need to advertise this. That's why I said on YouTube is great, but we only go but so far. Me getting my own storefront, that is a different story because that means I can take screen paints that I no longer make and I can advertise them on there too. And that's amazing because we'll have people coming in and look at them. I already get that reaction already. If I put a screen in a driveway, I got 13, 14, 20 people coming up looking at this screen. So I know from the door, this is an amazing investment. Now I could borrow the money from the banks. Not going to do that. I don't borrow money from banks because something happens, whatever happens, slow down, blah, blah, blah. They'll try to take it from you. That's not going to happen. So I'm doing this out of my own pocket. My own company is actually supporting that right now. We support that right now, no problem. All right, let's get to this now because I'm going way off topic, but there's just so much information. So basically, what we're looking into right now is designing some temporary labels for the time being. And I'm going to tell you something. You know how amazing our products are? I'll tell you. People cannot seem to keep our technology out of their mouths. And I'm not saying just one person. There's a lot of individuals. The minute we pop up with something new, they start chattering. And it's good because it shows at the end of the day how much of a threat the technology we develop. This right here is a Black Series. This is going to be a series of Black Series. These are going to be a lineup of black screen paints that are going to be a part of this. 39. Basically, we'll have some crazy testing before we leave because I want to make sure that I have a good heavy product line because after that, this will be the only product line. I know I've said this before, but it's going to be the only product line. Where I'm actually moving to, I'm not going to be doing any of this testing at all, period. No. This area right here, I can do all the testing I want, but where I'm going to be at, it's going to be all for show. It's going to be all for show, showing off the technology, showing it off in the storefront, showing it off in my luxury apartment complex, showing it off in the big the courtrooms where these giant screens they want to bring giant 250-inch screens they want to put in for their tenants. So that's all about show. Here, while we're here, is testing. These are the stages that we're going through. So you won't see me doing any testing. We'll be done. That's it. So whatever screen paints we develop here and we walk from, these are the finals. So that's why we're bringing in the Black Series. The Black Series is nothing. It's not something we've been working on. And I told you I work on a lot of screen paints, things I'm working on off camera that people don't know about. The only reason why you know about, and I tell people hate on us, the only reason why you know about the technology is because we allow you to see it. That's it. You wouldn't know anything about 12s. You wouldn't know anything about 8s. You wouldn't know anything about Phantoms. You wouldn't know anything about 39s and 38s if we didn't basically say, hey, this is coming out, blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know about this series right here either. You wouldn't know about the Black Series. None of it. Or even a mention of a 67, which you have never seen before, but they do exist. We only show you what we allow you to see, and that's it. Because we have also, too, with contracts with certain technology we're working on, we can't allow you to see under NDA. And there's other things we're actually working on that you're not allowed to see yet until it's that time for we have to show you that product. So it's interesting how we have all this technology that we don't have to display, but even the technology we do display levels everything we touch. And importantly, it's tested. So, okay, so very important that those of you, I guess we showed you, like I said, what I went through on Sunday. We're not doing it ever again. Never, ever again. Never want to witness that stuff ever again. We're going to show you what real testing is at the end of the day. If you haven't seen tests under our products, check out the 44. It's on display. Also to check out when you go into our shopping cart, you'll be able to click on and see all the testing under 2.0. And you'll be able to see how they test things. What is he doing? Hope he kills that cricket in front of the house. I had a giant cricket in front of my house somewhere. I can't find it, but I think it's noisy out of what. So, I want an ultimate gamer paint. Now, I was sleeping, got up in the middle of my sleep. Usually that's where most of my blessings come in at. And right there and then, ingredient already in my head. Already ordered everything I needed. So already in my head on how to make it, how to design it, and what the outcome, what it's going to look like. Because anytime that people ask me, like when I talk to customers, and I talk to people, like, where do the ideas come from? I say they come from God. All my ideas come from God. And I'll be asleep, and I'll wake up out of a dead sleep, and I'll see it right there in my sleep. The entire ingredients, how it's made, how it's designed, how to put it together is right there in front of me. And all I got to do is wake up, get on my phone, and start ordering from my suppliers. Like, I need this, I need that. Give me this, give me that, I want that, and how much of this, that right there. Everything, right from the door. And then from there, the Lord blesses me with the, what to call it. And there we go. So this is going to be, I need a crazy gamer paint. Not just for one game, for all my games. So let me see. I like this. I'm going to take this one too. Man, this is good. I forgot we got an exchange to do too. Let's have an exchange here. We gotta get this done. Let's see, I need the exchange. This is an exchange. Oh, I forgot what I did wrong. Exactly what I did wrong. I gotta go back into the folder. This is what we gotta do. We have to go into the folder, and I need to go to project 7. I don't have to wear that sheet. That's not going to do it from right there. Period. If I can crop it to the size of mine, let me see what I can do with this. First, okay, yeah, let's go through this first. Let's see if there's access. We get access to it first. First access in. Too bright, too big, not gonna work. This one. Nope, I'm touching that one. It's in foot pole. Definitely can't touch that one. Let's see what we got here. It's too big. It actually was smaller. It's too big. That's the fade on it. This is the best we can do on fade. Can we? No, even reverse these. Said all this in the way. It's not gonna work. That is definitely not gonna work. Do like this one. This is going to be a full wraparound. I don't have to wrap the back of the thing with the label so freaking long. That's a problem. This label's too long. That's the problem I'm having with that one. Let me see. Now I don't need a resizing. I need basically way off on that one. On a resizing, we don't need at all, period. We're looking for something that we need to find on here. Let me see, and it's not on here, which shows me something's not right about this one right here. It's not right about it, but something else is not coming up we're looking for. Let me see. Regular, we can't. What about, let me get some photo. Can you give me just a photo? It's a photo, you can get a ton of freaking Uh, there we go. Open with, I'm not seeing it there. Now what we're looking for is usually if a item is copyrighted, the first thing will pop up when you hit the back button is something called a Google search, which means you can search out and figure out who owns this particular piece of material. Some people will go in and actually put their copyrighted symbol on something that they don't even own. And that's why you have to go in and do a Google search on items. Every time we go in, we take a label, we hit the back button, we do a Google search. It'll tell us who pops up, who owns it, so and so and so. If you take my cube and you hit a hit search, our copyrights pop up everywhere on that stuff. So that cube is mine. Matter of fact, I have to get that lawyer to go in because we already got one person we're suing for that mess. I need to have a lawyer go in and do a search. So what they'll do is once a year they do a search. They'll go through Google, they'll go through different social media sites and see if anyone's using our logos without our permission for anything. And then they'll start issuing out, trying to figure out exactly who the sites are connected to. Mind this is legal. They'll go in and check on for the legal department, lawyer will figure out basically whose IP address it is, everything, all that information, track down who they are, find their addresses, and then from there submit. I think it's crease the system, or I think I butcher it every time. They'll send those orders out first, which I have to do this week. We need to go in and search everything. If you have any history of it, they're going to track it down. They're going to find it. The only way you can get rid of it, you're going to delete off your account. Now, say they send out the order, they're going to come back and check. Someone's going to be monitoring your activity. If it's still there, then after that, they're going to file a lawsuit against you. That's how we're going to do it this year. So the same thing, we go and do the search. We pay an attorney to go through everything, to find everything. And whatever he picks up, he'll send you that letter. It'll come straight to you. We want to know who you are, your IP address, or your internet provider, all that stuff. Yep, yes sirree. Companies do it all day long. That's what they do. They'll find out. They always do. I see how somebody popped in the room like, huh? What did he just say? He said lawyers. Yeah, you're going to get sued. You don't have permission to use that. If you think my copyright's not real, go to my website. You'll see my copyrights pop up. My YouTube channel, copyrights pop up. And you take my company's name, go to Gov Search, Copyrights, go in there, pull up a research library, and you will see, boop, my copyrights pop up. So that's what we're going to be doing this year. I hire an attorney for his job to go in and to search out, to figure out who is using our products without our permission. I mean, not products, but yeah, labels and stuff like that, people that are slandering our products, stuff like that. That's what his job is going to be to do. That's what we're hiring him to do. So, yes, sir. I told you we're going to wrap things up this year. We're not playing around with y'all. Y'all want to play games? No problem. I'm going to hit you where it hurts, right in your pocket. Let me see. So we don't have anything here coming up. There's nothing coming up on this. All right, another way we can do this. There's another way. Do we even own this? Restore the previous version. There's no previous version of it. So that's another thing you can do. You can actually go in, pick up the image, and you can go to restore to previous version, which means if they changed it in any way, whoop, pop up. I love this stuff, man. There's a whole lot of stuff that people don't understand. Why do you be a computer program anyway? But it's a lot of stuff that people don't understand that your freaking back buttons do that are freaking amazing. All kinds of goodies and now. So there's no previous version of it. All right, so what's the security on it? Out version administrator. That's it. That's not his. Access security. Detail. How many pixels they use to put together, man, it's crazy. What's the previous version? There's no previous version of it. That's a little bit iffy right there. I still would like to see if we can research that. I'm gonna have to go to come out of here, drop this, because I want that, but I want to make sure that we're not violating anybody's copyrights on this. Google search on this. See who owns it. Let this work. Try it again. We got stuck. Image over lens. You got multiple downloads popping up, which means multiple people have this artwork right here. It's not his. He copied it off somebody else and basically put in his whatchamacallit in there. It's missing. There's so many people actually claiming this. No one owns it. You got to be careful about that too, because you'll have people that'll sit there and tell you got to pay for artwork, and it doesn't even belong to them, but then it actually belongs to somebody else, the original owner. You need to be careful about that. It's not even here. He's supposed to have a, it's supposed to be a signature, like he put his symbol right there in the corner. That's what I saw, and he doesn't even own that. Actually, matter of fact, this is another version of it right here. Save image. See, what just put it in there. It's a 2.0. Alright, we gotta go in here and grab it. I don't know what you want to call it from our selection. What do we put in here? We put in a advanced ambient rejection fusion, but we put in something called project something. Doesn't feel like writing all that in there. So we have to go put that in there. There we go. We should be in a P area somewhere. Should be in here. Project. What? Project. Pure OLED, isn't it? Where is it at? Not there. Not there. Not there. It's in here somewhere. Did not put this in here. I hate when I write stuff in. I really hate it when I write stuff in. Project 7. Project 7, can we find Project 7? I know we put in here. I hate when you put files in your computer, go to find them, and they are nowhere to be found. Like, where do they go? They're not even there. Like, they're literally there, but they're not there. And I know I'm probably staring at it right in my face. I'm probably looking right at it, but I don't see it at all, period. Alright, that's just weird. It's definitely not in documents. I know that for a fact. We didn't stick it in documents. Unless I put it down incorrect. My goodness, but I gotta go through some kinds of winter. Just for technology. Just for technology. I probably wrote it in something completely different. Let me see what we got going on here in my world of madness. What did we write here? Where's it at? Where's it at right here? It's got to be here somewhere. Here's a folder right here. What did we just put in here for my folder? Oh, Gamer Project 7. Ooh. That's what I put in. Like, I know I put it in there somewhere. Alright, let's go in here and let's copy this image. And let's put in, it's Gamer. Gamer Project 7, sitting right there staring me in the face. I told you right there staring me in the face. Alright. Let's see how many versions we got of this. Alright, so there's so many versions of this, it's not even funny. And people have lost their mind on this one. I'm not paying a download for this. No one owns it. Like, literally, you cannot figure out exactly what. So one person had this, the one with the light pushing off of it. One doesn't have a light push. Let me show you what I'm looking at right here. This is all the people right here who've claimed to own this one particular piece of art. All these people have different versions of it. This is why you gotta be careful. Anytime you see a piece of artwork, something pop up, number one, do the search, make sure there's no copyrights on it so you can slam the lawsuit later on. And number two, figure out exactly who actually owns it. It could be free copyright clip art, and someone can be basically putting a price tag on it and saying, look, we need you to pay for this if you want to download this, or put some kind of lock on it. Now, it's not hard to put lock on artwork that you can't touch. Actually, we got a few of them that are designed that way, that you literally can't go and you can't print it up. The printer will not pick it up. It will not come up. It will show the option to print is gone. It's not there. We can actually encrypt stuff where it won't come up. As a matter of fact, I got a person who's an expert encryptor. That's me, but I got a friend of mine who's, whoa. That's what he does. He used to work for Microsoft, and he does encryption. As a matter of fact, I got another good friend of mine. She used from Microsoft and security also too, and she's an encryptor. I'm gonna have them encrypt all our work from now on. So basically, it doesn't. You can't even pick it up. And all these people, these mine friends, these are contacts that I've had for like. Well, actually, when I was doing computers, all my friends were all computer junkies. So that's one of the people I hung around. We're all junkies with computers all day long. Didn't realize that I'm friends with a lot of these people. I can just go in and just say, hey, look, I need this encryptor. Can you take it for me? I even know a couple of graphic designers, too, on top of that, that could be doing my own artwork for me, which ain't a bad idea. Right. Nah, I like my logo. I do like it. Now, you know how we know that logos are not copyrighted? Because when you swap out your logo, even if it's on a YouTube channel, if you swap it out to something else and you change it, that's not a copyrighted logo. A copyrighted logo is something you're going to have forever. Unless you decide to change and rebrand your company, but you're going to have it forever. I mean, I can go on a topic on that forever. You know what I'm talking about, but we're not going to bring them up in the videos because I don't want to taint my stuff. But as I said before, if you're seeing logos change back and forth on people's pages, they're not copyrighted. That's the one thing you do want to stay with. You do want to stay with your logo because your logo has a copyright and it's a brand at the end of the day. You don't be going to swapping out your logos. You imagine going to Best Buy and come like, oh, what the freak is this? I thought it was Best Buy. What the heck is this? Best Yours? Like it'll keep changing. The logos will keep changing out to this and changing out to that. We can change our name as many times as we want on our YouTube channel, but guess what stays the same? That cube sitting there on the side that you see pop up, that's my copyrighted company's logo right there. Well, we're showing you, when we do that, we're showing you the name of the product that we're advertising. But then my friend was like, nah, man, you got to keep this all in sync. Everything's got to be in sync. Sync with the website, sync with this, sync with that, sync with this. That's what I have to buy. Has to buy. All right, let's go in here and let's hunt this down. So bottom line is, yeah, I like this, but the only problem is that so many people have this. And it's funny thing about it is this is a dummy label that we're making. It's not the actual label. The actual label, it's going to have a copyright attached to it. It's going to be encrypted. I'll tell you this stuff along. I'm already telling you stuff ahead of time what's going on. We have to do that. It's not for the troll. We're not for him. We're not going to mention his name in our videos. You know, wait a minute. The trolls, not for them. I'm going mainstream, which means my stuff's going to have to be locked in extremely good because, mind you, I'm getting a storefront. So I'm going to have people walking in, and I mean, with these people walking in, you're going to have a different form of troll. This is a thief at the end of the day that will walk into your store and go, I wonder. Let me get a sample to see if we could break this down. Oh, please do, because we're waiting for you guys at the end of the day. It's just a whole different world. Once you step off the internet and boom, go into the actual reality world, you're dealing with a whole different form of troll. And we have to make sure that whatever they touch, they can be sued for, extremely sued for touching. I am not going to send, I'm not going to be nice about this one. I'm not sending out any orders at all. To basically back down, I'm going to take you to court and clean your clock from the door. That's what I want a reputation for a company known for doing. We're taking people in and cleaning their clocks. That's what we're going to be known for, offline. So if you touch it, well, guess what? You better tally up what you owe, because at the end of the day, it will be mine. Or what you have, it will be mine. So we're not going to be known for that one right there. We're known for no mercy policy. That's what our policy is going to be, no mercy. And you have to be that way. So you'd be surprised. You would have people walk. I've seen people literally, people design clothes. As a matter of fact, I did it myself a few times. Design clothes will go into a clothing store and turn the clothes inside out to see how the pattern was made. And if they memorize it, which they probably can because they've done it for so many years, they can go home and make the exact same duplicate. Just like that, no problem. Just can't put that name on the side of it, none of that, because that's the part that will get you in a lot of trouble. But you can kind of duplicate the blueprint of that clothes. You know, I find it interesting when people have like Toll House cookies and Dunkin' Donuts and companies like that have a secret ingredient which makes their food or whatever they make different from everybody else's. But people will go into their kitchen and they'll basically, you have people, like I said, are chefs at the end of the day, over here. Anyway, that can go in and taste food and tell exactly what's in it. But they can't tell exactly what exactly. They can tell to a certain degree, they can hit it on the mark. If that was the case, they would have figured out Coca-Cola's trademark secret a long time ago. And Coca-Cola has the oldest trademark secret in the world, the oldest. Now, there are people who do know how to make it, but they have to go through some serious crap. They have to go through some of your personal privacy information, being under a magnifying glass. That's exactly where you're going to be at with that stuff. But anyway, I was going to say, yeah, so people go in and they make their own recipes out of other recipes, and you can't really touch them on that. But why people go back to that particular recipe because of its name, its time, and its dedication, and that's why they go back to that. Someone made a fake, my favorite, I like Chick-fil-A. So they make a fake Chick-fil-A. People are going to go to Chick-fil-A, but at the end of the day, majority of the sales are going to go toward the Chick-fil-A because they've been there longer, they got the credibility, and people will go where they like. That's how it works. No matter what they say, people will go where they like. Like right now, you have those fast restaurant wars, which I think are freaking hilarious, where they put up on their billboards about different foods and stuff. They don't do it. And what I love about it, it's not slander, because they got to be careful because they can be sued. But they're not. It's not slander where they're basically saying nasty things to each other, like, yeah, don't eat their food because there's rats in their food, or there's rat feces in their food. They don't do that at the end of the day. It's just good, wholesome fun of them joking back and forth. And it's hilarious because the customers love the pranking back and forth fun on the bill signs, and it brings advertisement to all of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they all sat down in a meeting one day and say, hey, look, this will be a perfect strategy plan. Let's just have this little rival war. We'll have some fun back and forth on the billboards, and everybody will have fun. I'm pretty sure they went through legal and all that stuff, and it said certain things they couldn't do and certain things they couldn't say, and it just turned into fun for everybody. And then people were just eating anywhere. They were talking, I'm going to go over here and eat. I'll go over and eat. You got people that are loyal to this restaurant, that restaurant. But it's funny because I've seen people loyal to Burger King that will go over to McDonald's and eat just to see what all the bragging's all about. So that's what I love about that. I love that kind of stuff. But when you have people that maliciously go out and say dirty things or do dirty, that stuff at the end of the day will get a lawsuit against you. Somebody went over to Burger King from McDonald's, and they had a camera on them, and they're eating it, and they pull out a mouse out of it. You got yourself a lawsuit, a serious lawsuit, a serious lawsuit. Or say that I found mouse feces in the bag or stuff like that, and that wasn't true. You planted it in it to make them look bad. That's a serious lawsuit. Just to show you how fast a person can be sued for just about anything if you're caught doing stupid stuff. All right, let's get back to this. So this right here we're talking about is all together. When we develop labels, so you know that any labels we develop, we have to make sure labels don't have copyright sitting on top of us, which means even for the label itself, we have to go through searches for the labels. Yeah, down to everything. Everything has to be researched. You just can't be slapping labels on stuff. I hate to say the word, but you can't use the word Frankenstein. It is not yours. You can't use it. You can be sued beyond belief for touching it. Even showing the face itself. Actually, I think it's owned by, who owns it now? Is it Universal Studios? It's somewhere in Disney World. They own the rights to that or whatever. Yeah, you can be sued crazy for that. I mean, absolutely crazy. Even if they find stuff where it goes way back where you're not even showing. How long is the statute of limitations on copyright? I think it's way up there. It's like a couple of years. It's more than a couple of years, but it's way up there. It's quite a bit. If you fall within that statute of limitations area, you're talking about a serious, massive lawsuit that you can be hit with if they find out. But I don't do that if they find out. I don't want to do it anyway because my stuff is copyrighted. Which I forgot. I got to make a phone call about that too. All right. Let's go in here. Let me see. Oh, that's a nice one right there. That's pretty cool right there. Okay. All this for a dummy label. Yeah, all this for a dummy label. All right, so basically, as we're going in and we're hitting this, let's do another Google, and we're getting the Google search. And we search, we get the Google search with lens. We'll hit this one up, see who has it, see how many people got it. Nothing's coming up. So is this original? See, when you copy the text, that's an image? What the freak? And what's the name? Who has it? What's the name of it? I gotta go to copyright search for Gov. All right, so this right here is the copyright search by gov.com. You can go in there, you can search any copyright, any name you want, you can put it in here, and boom, you can find that information just like that. If it's registered with the US government, it will be in here. Now, things I'm gonna tell you this, if you're making music, artwork, whatever that stuff, if you're doing artwork, right, and you don't want to pay like 135 to 180 for each copyright for your artwork, it's best you do copyright it. Make it a series, and that way the entire series is copyrighted under that particular copyright. That's another way, instead of doing one after the one after the next. Another thing too is also, but you make sure you get the copyrights, because the copyrights are the only thing that will help you in court. That whole cheap man copyright of telling you that you mail it to yourself, don't do that. Yeah, you will not be supported in court at all whatsoever. They need to see documents from the government showing your stuff is actually legitimate copyrighted music, stuff like that. So basically what some artists would do as a reinsurance to bust that person at the day, and even worse, depending if they come with these big high-powered lawyers for corporations trying to take your stuff, you write your name and the time and date and all that into the artwork that only you can see at the end of the day, and they will never be able to pick it up. Unless they got a magnifying glass and they go, I've actually busted a few people for some artwork because I actually integrated my name into the artwork. I had it copyrighted, but it was still in there. But they were trying to tell us it was this and was that and the other, and I had it magnifying. You can see by so and so and so, Kenneth Ray Bird, blah 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 blah, date, blah 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 blah. Easy lawsuit. Easy lawsuit one. That one easy, make cheesy. So let's go into, let me see the portal. We need to do a search. It's going to take us to the search. I'm going to go to the portal. Which way are we going on this? I need to do a search on this. Search. Copyright records. Is it copyright records? It should be copyright records. This is where it should be. Copyright records. Copyright records. Let's see. We need to do a search on here. Maybe if I just go to here. It's not giving me a portal. It's giving me information on the portal. We need the actual. Let me get this out of here quick. I'm going to expand my whole page here. There we go. I need this right here. I need to find copyright. Search. Yeah, search. Registration. Oh, not research. I need to search. There are two ways you can go about it. You can basically do it yourself, which if you've never done a copyright before, it's going to be a bit of a headache. Or you can basically hire an attorney, which I did, which makes it a lot easier because they can just do all the paperwork. So the first thing to do is you're going to take your logo, your artwork or whatever you want, and they're going to do something called a copyright search, which means you're going to search every place to see if anybody else has that logo. Now, if no one comes up with it, they'll come back and say, hey, you can take this, it's yours. And then basically, you've got to put the artwork and all this stuff has to be on there. So then basically, they'll go in, they'll ask for a copy of that particular one, so they'll have it on record, just so they can match it to that. If anyone comes up anywhere close to it or anything whatsoever, you can file a lawsuit against them. This is where the place you have to go. You can type anything in there you want. Our company being under Crystal Edge Technology Screens, which means anything we develop under Crystal Edge Technology Screens is ours. That's why I warn people at the end of the day. It goes a little deeper than that. You got to understand how it works. So we'll put up L Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Let me see, man, if I wrote this right. Oh, I spelled it wrong in here. Crystal. Did I get him? Yeah. All right, then. There we go. That's me. Those are my copyrights right there. So, I am not a person that would jump on you right away. Sometimes I like to give it some time. I have my I know where my statute of limitations laying at. So some people are saying, oh, I'm using it, he's not going to come after me. Oh, but I am, because we're monitoring your activity the entire time. We want to show the courts on how long you've been using my product for or labels for. So you have to understand, when you go into court, first thing they'll start to plead on their end is the person didn't know, he didn't know it was copyrighted. They'll plead that first. Biggest mistake people make when they come after people with copyrights is the fact that they get them the minute they touch it, bam, they get them. No, I am not that person. I will wait a couple of years and then come get you, because I can show the courts how long you've been using my copyrights, how you had plenty enough time to research it, and how you went and abused them, and I gave them permission on using them. See, 3 years. Some people can't wait that long. I can. It's all about the timeline. So I can easily walk in the court and say, look, Your Honor, bottom line, they've had this for about 2 years. This is the activity they've been doing with it. This is how they've been abusing their copyrights. We want to file a lawsuit for $250,000, $150,000, $125,000. That's what we want. Usually, if you come and you hit them right away, the first thing they'll plead is, I didn't know. I really didn't know. I mistakenly got this by accident, and I thought nobody owned it, so and so and so, and I didn't know. But a 2 year, when we come to get you, yeah, we can show a track record of how long you had it, how many times you used it, how many times you abused it, blah, 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 blah. Which means you had enough time to go in and figure out who that tag belonged to, or that copyright belonged to. So there's nothing you can say in court. It's an open and shut. I told you I don't like to lose in court. So just because you have it doesn't mean that at the end of the day that we see it and we're not coming for you. We're just giving you a long enough rope to hang yourself. Some people get a very long rope to hang themselves. This comes right up on our logo. I don't know how in the world, and on top of that, what makes it even more interesting to us win the lawsuit even faster is the fact that it's sitting directly on my webpage with this popping up on it. That's actually real. So it shows the court that they were fully aware that the copyright was actually existing. Yes, sirree. So the thing about it is, you might just walk into court without an attorney, because mine, you got to pay your attorney's fees, and you're gonna be paying mine at the end of the day in court costs, including the lawsuit that's gonna be slammed against you for touching the copyright. So I've waited long enough, so at the end of this year, that's what we're hiring the attorney for, to track down anybody and the timeline on how long they had the copyright for. That's why I explain to people, look, don't think you have me figured out, because you never do. Always, or I'm doing something different. Just because you're running around the copyright and you're messing around with it, doesn't think because I don't hit you right away, nothing's going to happen. You're being monitored the entire time. That's evidence for court to show the courts how long you had the copyright, how long you were tampering with it, evidence, all that. Because the first thing they're going to ask for is, okay, is your copyright registered? Yeah, it is. There it is right there. You can look it up at usgov.com or copyrightgov.com. Look it up. It's right there. It's a registered copyright. How long was the person tampering with it? We got 2 years right here that they've been tampering with it. Yep, and building a case on you. That's what they're doing. All right, let me see. Let's check this out real quick. Copyright statute of limitations. Let's see if she got it. Yeah, she got it right. All right. Let's see. Now, let me see. Some say 3 years that we have to go in. That means that anything past the 3-year timeline, we can't touch you. But within that time, the absence or after 3 years, we can't touch you. But anything in there, like maybe like you had it for 1 year, or maybe you had it for 2, we can come get you. That's why I said 2 years, because 3 years we can't touch you after that. And 2 years is long enough to show that you had that copyright for long enough to know that we can come hunt you down. Some people this year, not saying, there are certain people we've been monitoring, and it's going to be an extremely bad year for you. Now, say if the person doesn't have 250,000 or 150,000 or whatever our lawyers ask for, say they don't have the money, then this is liquidating your access, which means they start going and figuring out what you are worth, how much you make from your company or business, how much you get on your income tax, what your car is worth. Do you own your car? Do you own everything in your house? Do you even own your house? This is stuff they're going to start going through, and they're going to figure out whatever you have, and they're going to take it from you. Or they can go this way. They can fine you and give you to pay a certain amount of money every month, every week, whatever it may be. They can check your finances, which sometimes you can be, some companies will be a little bit lenient towards you because you have family and stuff to take care of. So they'll say, okay, look, this is what we want from the courts. We want a minimum of $500, or we want a minimum of $250 every week from you. That's what they'll ask for. It's not going to be anything cheap. At the end of the day, you're going to pay some money out. Now, if you happen to miss on any of those payments, they can come back to court with that document and say, look, this is the agreement we have for so-and-so and so, and they missed several payments, so we would like to execute judgment. That's not good. That means they can bring in the sheriff's department and they can auction off your stuff. And black van will pop up, whatever van color will pop up, and these guys will come to your door, knock on your door, show you a court order, say, look, we got the right to take your stuff because you owe money, and we have to take it from you. And they'll auction off all your stuff, and it'll be gone. That's what will happen. Or what you could do is you can basically file for Chapter 11, which most people have to do, but that's going to be pretty bad also too, because Chapter 11 controls exactly what you have and what you can have at the end of the day, because now you're at the mercy of them controlling everything you have, because it's like being on an allowance but being an adult. That's what you're going to go through. Some people just go through the whole Chapter 11. Doesn't basically, it lessens the blow on the lawsuits, but still, you're still going to have to pay. Whew, man. Yeah, you should got to know all this stuff at the end of the day. They don't explain this to you on camera, do you? The reason why they don't explain anything to you on camera, the first thing they say is they're taking someone to court. They don't explain the legal part of it all because, again, they don't know what they're talking about. All they can do is show a picture of a courthouse, and that's it. They don't know what they're talking about. But I'm telling you exactly what will happen because I have taken people to court and I have sued them. This wouldn't be my first lawsuit. I've sued quite a few people for touching my stuff. So you could go through that from the end of the day. Depends on what the situation may be. Now, if the company is a no mercy company, you are in so much trouble. They couldn't care less about your family, kids, whatever. They want their money. That's it. Nike, Disney, companies like that, Timberland, these are companies at the end of the day, McDonald's, big companies that you do not want to mess around with. If you are 100% on point that you basically are backing your products and you can do what you're designed to do, you're good. Elite Screens, Diamond, all those big companies like that, you think I fear them? No, at the end of the day, because I test my technology. My technology is tested. We have studied their screens for many, many years, and I know the capability of what my technology can do. They can only go so far with me. File a lawsuit against me, biggest mistake they will ever make, because at the end of the day, I can show in a courtroom where my product is better. You know, any idea what that were their capital? Their capital would implode. Because now they just exposed, gave me exposure, brought me to court, displayed that my technology blew out their screen in a courtroom, And now all that's publicized, and that's something they don't want. So now you got people thinking, oh, gee whiz, this guy, yeah, got taken to court by so and so and so. Yeah, they took him to court, and yo, they did this test right there in the courtroom. He backed it up, and his screen took this screen out with no problem whatsoever. How much does he charge for his screen? Like $350 for 150 inch. They charge like thousands of dollars for it. There you go. There you go. That's why they can't touch me. But a screen paint that hasn't been tested does that demonstration. If you can't back it up, oh my goodness, you are done at the end of the day. There you go. That's why they can't touch me with a 10-foot pole, because they don't want me to have that kind of publicity. I get loose, I get out there, I become an extreme problem to them, because who in their right mind is going to spend $5,000 for a 100-inch screen when we can do it for a price at $204 at 100 to 120-inch screen, and we don't even need a special screen to run ultra short throw at the end of the day, and we can go outside. As a matter of fact, 2.0 has been outside in 4 rainstorms already. We're testing that for some fun. We're actually having some fun with it. Someone was asking a question about being weatherproof or whatever, so we stuck it outside. It's soaking wet. I'll show you later on up there. I wish the we're going to do a real interesting demonstration on that one, so it's pretty fun. All right, let me see. So that's 3 years. Let me see. Let's go with fines for copyright infringements. Let's go again. And she's not listening. Fines for copyright infringements. So fines can range anywhere from $30,000 per work. We're not talking about if you copy somebody, you mess with somebody's work, the logos, whatever. We're not talking about. Whoa, please, we don't need to explain that. I know that one already. Like I've done this already. All right, we're cool with that. Okay, let's pass it. So you're being said if you take the copyright and you use it one time, right? You'll be sued for that. But say you use it 13 times. That means you will be sued for each individual copyright that you touch. You'll be sued again and again and again, which means they won't sue you over and over again. They'll basically sue you for $30,000 per work. I think I'm joking. There it is right there. Per work, which means every single time you touch that copyright, you could be sued from fines ranging from $750 to $30,000, and some may reward you up to $150,000 per work. Do you see how bad that is? I told you, it's not going to be a good year for a certain individual. It's going to be a horrible year for them. I will be taking you to court because you touched my copyrights multiple times. And that means that I can walk into a courtroom, show off your channel, displaying my copyright slander, my product, without my permission, and I can sue you anywhere from $750 per work or $30,000. And because we waited 2 years or a couple of years to hit you with this, it clearly shows that you knew exactly what you were doing, when you were doing it, and why you were doing it. And with that being said, you can never come into court and say, I didn't know, because you did know. And that means I can get the maximum reward of $150,000 per work. That's why I said it's going to be a bad year for them. So anyone, Silent Wake 5, and your receipt, your fake receipt, which we have now, and your fake receipt, you showed my logo right there, trying to show that that fake receipt was us. Not only do we have this individual for basically going in and basically faking an email, claiming it to be us, but also slandering our company. What is it? What's the other? Where's a bunch of them they had on that with that form sheet for that lawsuit? But anyway, if you go take someone's property, you go out and you make a false review against their property and you slander it. Oh, 2.0, that's an even faster lawsuit. We're not going to talk about that, but that's an extremely fast lawsuit because he purchased from us and we have his signature signed to the package, and it came from a batch number. That's an easy open and shut lawsuit. I showed that to the attorneys. He was laughing his head off. This guy keeps studying payments on my boat. Let me explain to you how fast a lawsuit that is. He sat there and said, you don't even need me to go into a courtroom for that one. He bought a product from our company. He has an official transaction number, ID, all that stuff, showing that he made this purchase. It's also a signature confirmed showing that the item came from him. We shipped the item and he signed for it. Now, the problem we have here is that that product has an official batch number attached to it, and a batch number protects the company at the end of the day because the company can provide evidence that the product was working and fully working before we shipped it out. If you notice that you look at the environment that the demonstration was done, the demonstration was in a dark environment. On top of that, again, and even in a dark environment, you see the product didn't pull up so well, as I said in his demonstration. In our demonstrations, we have a 3-hour video test demonstration of an environment that is far brighter than his and using a multi-projector swap out, including surfaces, sample sheets, white levels, everything, showing that the product was fully tested before it was given a batch number, and the batch number show that the product works. We also have customers who have actually displayed the product showing that it works perfectly fine. So what the judge wants to know is out of a 5-gallon container, which his container was poured from, how come his product doesn't look like the batch number, which shows heavy signs of tampering? And because of that, that is an easy lawsuit to win, extremely easy to win. You have to get around the batch number. You can go into court and talk about cameras. You can talk about manipulating that. Unless you have 100% proof that this is actually happening in court, it's called hearsay. So it's thrown out of court. You have to have hardcore evidence to prove this happened. That's a bigger lawsuit. I'll show you what slander will get you at the end of the day. It's pretty heavy. But anyway, so what happened was Silent Wake 5 went in, slandered our product, claimed he had the 38, brandished receipts. The receipts were fake. Email was fake. None of that came up at all. We got videos of him deleting evidence off his channel. That's an open and shut lawsuit. And because when we were pulling up the fake receipt in slow motion, we noticed our logo was right there on the receipt. So that means you're going to be filed for one of these lawsuits right here. But we're going to go for the heavy damages because showing that not only did you copyright our company's, use our company's logo without our permission, but you also committed forgery and also to identity theft. They put all that up there due to the fact that you were trying to mimic what our company was doing, which was not doing. So there's a list of charges. There also may be some criminal charges also too, filed with that also too. We have plenty of time to go after him. There you go. So because of all that and everything he's done, slandering the company, I can see if he, like, say, touched the logo, did something stupid with it, they're probably getting like a $250 or $150 fine. But how he used it and how he maliciously tried to go out and make our company look like something that it's not, we can sue you for maximum amount. I've talked to attorneys already. You can talk to them, explain to them what you did. They will tell you from the door, we can get you for $30,000 per work. And then I can turn around, I can slam you for, slandering my company. I can get maybe 150 grand out of you for that right there. Right from the door, because I have proof. Your email didn't register, didn't come up. So what my lawyers are going to ask you is, how is it possible to order a product when the email doesn't exist? That's forgery and fraud. Well, is the forgery too much? It was more like fraud on the other hand. I can't say it's forgery, but he signed something to it. But I don't know. We have to look into that. That could be a gray area, but it's something we could definitely use in court against you. So, gentlemen, I would say, if I were you, enjoy your freedom while you have it, because the hammer is coming, and it's not going to be light when it hits. It's going to be bad. All right, so we know that from the door. Let's see what happens if, let's see. Suing someone for slander. I think it's Sherman Williams. That's funny. That is really funny. We've been looking for that one. Now, we can need to get you for that. Now, does it hurt a reputation? Not really at the end of the day, but I got lawyers. We can basically make that. Yeah, again, I'm not going to say too much. My lawyers are pit bulls at the end of the day. It will go through with no problem whatsoever. They don't lose cases. That's why I pay them. There's another one coming at you. Let me see. maximum amount of money sued for slandering.
Here's some information for how much to sue for defamation of character. According to VIll, however, based on our accounting data, most defamation lawsuits on average resolve for roughly $15,000 minus $16,000, with monthly costs running anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000.
Yeah, you're going to be paying me every month. Quite a bit. Now, for someone who came on, some jerk came on one time and said, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." I think I do because I've been to court quite a few times. I know. I had the experience. I've been in business for 12 years, and over 12 years, eventually you do take people to court and sue them. That's $15,000, $16,000. That's only per slander. That's not going to go well. That already going to add up from the door. So that's why I said from the door, it's best not to do dumb stuff at the end of the day. How long does the statute of limitations last on your copyrights?
According to U.S. Copyright Office, as a general rule, for works created after January 1st, 1978, copyright protection lasts for the life of the author plus an additional 70 years.
So, my copyrights statute of limitations, for those of you that will be watching this later on that you know you touched my copyrights without my permission, I would suggest at the end of the year, lawyer up. And I would suggest at the end of the year, don't try to hide your sign things into other people's names and make it look like it's not your property, because we will go through your bank records. And bank records will show it basically right from the door what payments, what down payments were made. I've seen people do that all the time. They'll take a house that they own and they would take the house and they would stick it in somebody's name or try to sign it in somebody's name. Try to do something to make it look like it wasn't theirs. Or they'll go through your records, everything. They'll go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. And if they find out that at the end of the day that you are still making payments on this property, you're in a lot of trouble, because now you're showing the courts that you're also committing fraud. Get yourself some jail time at the end of the day. Don't do that dumb nonsense. Just take it. Just deal with it. It's kind of like a meteor hitting the earth. Just light up a cigar and just wait for it to impact. That's all you can do. It's nothing. You can't run from it. There's no way out of it. You just have to just take the impact. That's it. If you survive it, then that's a good thing. And if you don't, well, that's just the way it goes. That's how you have to think of it. That's why I explain to people when I go to court all the time. Just take it like a meteor, crashing the earth. Because they'll sit there while we're sitting in that in the waiting room, and I see the nervousness, I see the way they're messing with their hands, and the way they're looking around and everything. They don't want to be there at the end of the day. They know they messed up. They know they have substantial evidence against them. It's bad. And even their attorneys are even telling them, like, look, this is a possibility. It's definitely going to happen because, yeah, we can soften the blow for you, but you're going to get hit regardless. And they'll try to come over. I can see them just trying to come over and want to talk when they go into litigation or anything, to just talk about how to get out of it. Can you just, no. We gave you the opportunity. I'm sorry, but we have to go forward on this. You have to learn. Like I said, light up a cigarette, get yourself a glass of scotch, and just take them back. So my statute of limitations for me on my copyrights are as long as I'm alive. And even after I die, an additional 70 years will stand on top of that. And this is why I tell people out there, your art community, if you're, at the end of the day, make sure all your stuff is locked in. I see artists that do this all the time. They'll have some beautiful artwork, they'll have a portfolio, and they got a habit of showing it off. Stop doing that. Really stop doing that. Because then back then, people didn't have camera phones. Now we got a camera phone. They didn't click your artwork. Click, 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 click. All your pages. I've seen people leave a book down, and a friend, just with a friend, good work, they'll leave a book down and go, let me go to your bathroom for a minute. Oh, it's right over there. And they'll pull that phone out and they'll click all those pages. Like, you know that's wrong. But they do it. They will sit there and go through your entire booklet of art and steal your artwork, and there's nothing you can do about it because you didn't go in and put copyrights in it. The poor man copyright of sending a letter back to you, that will not hold up in court. You need to have your stuff registered. That's what you need to do. Get it registered. Music, people know music, know this one all too well. People who design music know it all too well. Be careful about singing lyrics out. all that stuff. Don't bring your music over to a friend's house and say, hey, check it out. Check out these bars. Don't do that at the end of the day. They will take it from you. Sorry to say this, but it's true. This is how you're going to have to treat it. When I started developing screen paints, no one knows what's in it. Nobody knows. Not my family, not my mother, not my girlfriend. Nobody knows at all, period. Ever. My ex that was living here, I lived with him for 5 years, didn't know what was in any of the ingredients. Nothing. That's how you have to treat it. Nobody knows at all, period. You're the only one that's allowed to know this. You and God, and that's it. Now, if you want to show off your artwork to your friends, get it copyrighted. Get all of it copyrighted, every bit of it. You show it off all day long. You can take them to court and say, hey, look, this is my work. This is what they did. You'd be surprised how many times I sat in the courtroom and I sat there and watched friends taking people to court and mothers and all over freaking pictures and recipes and all kinds of stuff. Recipes is something interesting. I've seen lawsuits people fight in parking lots and everything over stuff, over recipes. Maybe it was a recipe handed down from a grandmother or whatever and became famous. You know, a lot of the stuff that you eat, and Dunkin' Hines and Oreo cookies and all that stuff you eat was basically made from somebody in their kitchen. Either they figured out something interesting or maybe it was passed down from a family and they decided to cash in and get money off of it and actually was successful. And then the rest of the family members that'll pop up and want their share of that money and they don't want to give it up. They don't want to give them nothing at the end of the day. They want to claim it as their own. I've seen that stuff. It's messed up, but it's true. So you got a family secret recipe that's been going on for years and it just happens to get passed over to one individual who goes, we can make some money off of this. And they'll figure a way to make sure that they got all rights tied to them only and cut everybody off. It's happened. And even some of that has even come into murder. People will kill each other for stuff like that. So basically, you've had this recipe, it's passed on to a family member, and they made millions of dollars off this, and you got nothing. People will murder you for stuff like that. So you'd be surprised. You'd really be surprised. That's why I explain to people, like, I got a friend of mine right now, she's starting up a business, and it's taken off quite well. And I explained to her from the door, don't invest in stocks, especially in this decade in time. You've got to be a madman to invest in stocks. Stocks will make you a millionaire overnight and also make you a poor man in seconds. Don't get a board of directors. Last thing you want to get is a board of directors. The board of directors can actually vote you out of your own company. They can take it from you. That's what happened to U-Haul. Was it U-Haul? No, U-Haul, his kids took his company from him. I do a lot. I can watch a lot of videos on U-Haul, big companies, Best Buy, Circuit City, Toys R Us, to figure out what was their downfall, what caused them to collapse, what happened to a big multi-billion-dollar company that now doesn't even exist anywhere. I'm interested in stuff like that. And the one thing I learned that the board of directors is a nightmare. Because number one, a board of directors, yes, can make your company worth millions and millions of dollars. But how much money do you actually need at the end of the day? Really? I mean, you consider the concept. You're not taking it with you at all, period. You will die. All your stuff will stay here on the earth and somebody else will get it. You will not be able to enjoy it anymore. It is not yours. A friend of mine who was a nurse, she'd say she'd watch people would come in from time to time. She works at this really high-end hospital, and she would watch people come in that had loads of money. They were really filthy rich, and they just basically couldn't accept that they were going to die because they had to give up so much. Now, all the money in the world could buy them an ounce, a second, a minute, an hour more. They were going. All that they possessed on the earth would go to others. But that's how it is. How much money do you actually need? I say you need enough money to be comfortable. And I would say that was just, who needs all that money to begin with? Enough to be comfortable. Majority, what I'm blessed to have, if I'm blessed to make millions of dollars off my company, when we go live and we go out on stream, I'm not keeping a lot of that money like that. I'm donating a ton of that money to charity. There's cancer research. There's all kinds of stuff it could go to. I need enough to be comfortable. That's it. That's all I want. I want to be to have that kind of comfortable where I have to wait to add something to my collection. I buy the entire collection in one hit because I have the money. No, I want to be the wait. I want to be comfortable. Know my bills and everything are paid. Know when I got food in my stomach, my cat's taken care of, my family's taken care of, but enough to be comfortable. That's it. I don't want to be rich, ever. I don't want that nightmare. So if I am going to go down that road and that does happen, I'm donating a lot of my money away. What's the point? I don't want it. And I can't take it with me. So the board of directors will make you a ton of money, but if they own a good share of your company, they can also take it from you. And they also can make decisions like what you can have and what you can't have. Like say if you see this limited edition Bugatti, that only 3 people in the entire world own, and you want it, they can say, well, that's not the right decision to do right now. I don't think that's a good financial decision to make, since we have to work on this and some we have to work at that. Mind you, your board of directors can be stealing from you at the end of the day too. They can be embezzling your money, taking your money from you. And if they feel that you are a little bit too much to handle, you're snooping around a little too much, then they can vote you out. Or if you have somebody in the family that you made a partner and they're working with you, they can decide with the board of directors and vote you out. Yeah, it's dirty. It's really, really dirty. It's messed up, but it's true. Come on, people. You watch enough soap opera, stuff really goes on in real life. People do dirty, dirty stuff. But I've literally watched people fight and argue, go into court, and take somebody for something stupid for my company, and I'll see a family in there or people in there or whoever's in there fighting over recipes. Those are the worst ones, because people will literally murder you over something like that. Because again, like I said, someone takes it and they cash in and they get rich. Like imagine if Oreo cookies. You ever go back and go on YouTube and look at how Oreo cookies started? Oh, Kellogg's is really interesting. You got to look at that one. The documentary on Kellogg's cornflakes. Boom! Would have never thought. Would have never thought in a million years. He fell into Kellogg's by accident. It wasn't intentional. It was by accident. I'm going to tell you about this real quick. We're going to get back to this later because I said we got the product coming and everything. We're going to talk about the new black screen paint, but you got to hear about this. This is crazy. So the fellow who developed Kellogg's cornflakes basically was a health guru nut. He was all about spiritualization, about basically the body is a temple and all that stuff. He didn't smoke, he didn't drink at that time. You had a lot of people drinking, like at Prohibition and speakeasies and stuff like that. Oh, I love Prohibition. I actually researched all that too. But anyway, so he's this big health nut. He back then, mind, there was so much to do. You know, we didn't have internet and all this technology we have. And pretty much the only thing you did when you got off the clock was basically go to a bar and drink. And when you drink, it was at the bar. You had easy women at the bar. You had gambling at the bar. You had all this stuff going on at the bar. That was the place to be at. You know, you have the watering hole. You see it in Westerns, you know, people coming from Western, very few people go to church. They go to the saloon to go party and have fun, you know. So anyway, what happens is basically all this was going on, and he wanted to basically cleanse some of this. So he came up with this. He was a rich man. He came up with this kind of institution that people can go to, and there were rules for people who wanted to be cleansed. You couldn't have meat, and you couldn't have, you were strictly all vegetarian. You couldn't drink and all this stuff, and gambling and all that stuff was you couldn't do it at all, period. So very exclusive to get into this club, and people who got in, if you got caught, you were kicked out, and that was it. You never came back in again. So the foods that he was choosing for these people to eat was pretty much garbage at the end of the day. It was like you might as well basically had a better diet if you ate rocks. But he was just trying to come up with a new solution of some kind of snack or some kind of food for them to eat. And he was like an inventor. He designed all these different kinds of foods and stuff. So basically, Kellogg's was supposed to be something else. But in the process, it kind of backfired. It was a mistake. And it came out looking like what you're eating now. I can't explain it all too, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So anyway, if you actually ever go watch the guy at Kellogg's, how Kellogg's cornflakes was made, but it came out looking like, I don't want to say too much bad about the company and all, but they thought it was bad. They thought it was something wrong with it, and the guy started eating it, started tasting it, found it had a good taste to it. It was crunchy. It was like a good snack. It was healthy, and they started distributing this to the guests that were at this establishment, and it took off. They liked it. I don't know where it came along where somebody added milk and sugar to it, so I don't know about that part. But eventually it did. Someone did add milk and sugar, experimenting with it, and that's how Kellogg's cornflakes, boom, was born. Literally from a mistake. Like the guy who invented the submarine actually died in his own invention. You know? That's what I love about the inventors at the end of the day. When we're developing black technology, before the other people that carry on and act up now, you have no idea how much slander, my credibility, all kinds of stuff. When I first started off on ABS forums and stuff like that, everybody kept telling me that my product was garbage. It wasn't going to last that long. Who would ever have a black screen? The best screens, this is before gunmetal. The best screens were silver screens. The best screens were gray screens. I went through all of that. That's why I said the stuff that they do is nothing. But when I first started off and I started showing off black screens, you have no idea how hard a mountain I had to climb in order to get to the point where I can show that my technology does what it's designed to do. So that's when I see individuals like that, we look at them as oh, those are just little bottom feeder haters. What's a new one? That's mine. Bottom feeder haters. So that's what we call them. That's my new nine. No, no. That's what we want to call them from now on. But anyway, the bottom feeder haters, we know that's what they are because I had to go through so much to go to forum sites, to go to different platforms to show that the technology, the black technology we have, does do better than a gray screen or silver screen or white screen. And that's what I had to go to before I got here. So it has me thinking that the inventors, what they had to go through. The person who developed the TV, the person who developed radio, person who I don't want to talk about Howard T. Ford, man. I found out some stuff about him. It's pretty jacked up. Yeah, it's pretty jacked up. You own a Ford, yeah, you might want to go back and take a look at that one right there. I look at something called Dark History. So, don't want to go off topic right here, but dark history is basically explaining to you the real history of what they don't teach you in school. Whew, some of that stuff was so bad, I had to come out of it like, oh, I can't deal with this. It's just too much. But anyway, yeah, Howard T. Ford was something else. Anyway, by the way, I would never buy a Ford. Not ever, 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 ever would never purchase one. Never. Now, I understand things change, but man, the history behind that one was, ugh. Anyway, so, talking about the history of the Wright brothers. I love the Wright brothers, I do. I love the fact that these guys pretty much got the most ridicule, I probably think, of any inventor. And think about it, you got two brothers on a farm building a plane, a machine that can fly. In an era where flying was basically nothing more than a dream. That's all it was. So can you imagine the ridicule and the insults that they had to go through, and what their families went through every time they went into town to pick up supplies? Oh, there's the mother of the mother or the wife of the Wright brothers. They would come up to him like, so how's your husband crazy? Has he gone mad? What was he thinking up there building a machine that you could fly in the air? That's unheard of. They probably called him all kinds of names. They probably were taunted every single day. They probably were told that it couldn't be done. And I'm pretty sure from the pressure of what their families went through, their families were even probably pressuring them, telling them that they had the need to stop this. This is an embarrassment, that you're tarnishing our family name. Did they quit? No. They kept it up. And now, today, you can get on an airplane and you can fly anywhere you want. Because two people in a barn decided that we're not going to give up, despite all the hatred and all the crap that they go through every single day when they're developing and trying to make something better for people. There you go. The naysayer has been around for a very long time. He has been there when you had Benjamin Franklin discovering electricity. He has been there for everything. In every turn of event of every form of inventor, the naysayer was there. And thank God that these people never listened to the naysayer, because you wouldn't have the things you have before you right now if these inventors decide to give in to the naysayer. All right, people. Man, we ended up talking about history, and we're talking about the paint. I told you, mine is just vast of information. I just love to talk about everything. My entire family's like this. Part of my family are college master graduates. Other half are top-ranking military, and the other half own their own companies. I fell in the rank of basically owning my own company. All right, well, what can we say much about the black technology? We didn't talk anything about it at all. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. It's going to be coming out soon. It's got a ton of tests underneath of it. Can't wait, because it's going to be gamer technology. That means I get to do nothing but gaming on it. That'll be fun, and it is going to blow your mind. All right, that's basically about it. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.